What up, guys? Welcome to episode 10. We are excited this week. We are going to be talking about things that we do as fathers that works, things that we have set in place, things that we have come up with that has worked for us, and we're proud of. And so this is going to be the first time we kind of get to brag on ourselves.
I'm excited, and I know that you see the new merch, hats. It's all here. Welcome to the Dad's Corner.
Let's go. All right, what's up, everybody? Episode 10. Episode 10. We hit double digits.
Double digits,
Double
bro.
digits.
It feels good,
Double digits.
man.
It feels good.
It feels
I noticed we were gonna do this a little bit later,
I kind of feel.
but I feel like we're rocking some new fit, some new gear. You will be able to purchase this on our website now.
Absolutely, I'm excited.
Link is in the bio. We go to the Dad's Corner. Go to our website, man. We've got hats, shirts. If you'll notice, we've got two of the Dad's Corner with the established 2024, which when we started, and then we got two with the logo on it. So we got camo, we've got all black, we've got all black, we've got.
Man, I like the all black.
I
love the all black, baby. Let's go.
Look at him. I mean, we're over here. The colors really stout. I think it's solid.
I like these shirts.
You know what
bro.
I like the most though? Man, get out of here. Get out of
Dang
here.
door,
Let's
dog.
go.
Yeah.
So excited about that. So links in the description. Go directly to our website. We will be making hand deliveries to somebody who is close to us. But if you are far away, we will ship it to you. Like I said, it'll all be set up on our website. So get your gear, get your merch. We've got a ton of shirts. We got a ton of hats. We've got one more set of shirts coming. It'll be a couple weeks, but I'm excited about it.
I'm excited too, bro. Like, I don't know. It's just something to have your own stuff.
I gave my
have something that everybody can wear.
My grandma got the
that
first
is
shirt.
for you. That's fire.
I said, that's me right there on the right. And she said, oh, well, no duh. She said, I thought you was on the left.
She said, who's the good-looking fella, though?
She said, who's that fellow over there with the W on his head? I said, listen, you wouldn't know it, but he's got your keys. He's got your keys right now. So, but hey, while you're there clicking the link, don't forget, like, subscribe. We've got our TikTok account set up too, so we're starting to put out content everywhere.
Follow
So
us everywhere.
whatever platform you like, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us, share it with your friends. We appreciate all the love we've gotten so far. It's been awesome.
It's been awesome, bro. Man, I'm excited. Jason, how you feeling, bro? How you feeling today?
I'm
good.
good.
I know you feel good about the new
Look good, feel
wardrobe.
good.
You look good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. My kids got to have Grandparents' Day at school, which is tight. I mean, it's love all the grandparents out there to death, but it is a made-up holiday. It is a made-up day. But it's awesome. But the kids, my mom got to go to Casey's parents are out of town. Mom got to go to to their school, have donuts and muffins and coffee. I talked to her about it today, and she said, it was kind of sad. And I was like, oh, what happened? And she said, well, when we got done, I walked them to their classroom. I was like, yeah. She said they hugged and kissed each one of them, and they just went to their class. And I was
What
like,
did they want them to do?
And I was like, yeah. And I'm like, waiting. She was like, they didn't cry for me. They didn't wait around. They didn't get any teary-eyed. They just said, all right, bye, Gaga, and walked in. I was like, that's what they're supposed to do. That's awesome. She was like, that's all right. Gaga went to her car, had a little tear. So she said,
wanted them to break down.
yeah, she was like, I mean, I kind of wanted them to be a little bit like, no, I don't want you to go. And they both went, we'll see you. Walked inside. So I was like, that's good. That means they're comfortable. That means they're happy there. So
that's awesome, man. I love those days, like the little school holidays, the eat with your children days, like, Mother's Days and the Father's Days, even that are not like Mother's Days and Father's Days.
Yeah.
Like just those little special
just
days.
made up
grandparent
days that
day.
we can just
like those are fun.
monetize and get money from.
I mean, it's the time though. It's the time. Yeah, there's money
I
involved.
went and visited some family yesterday, and they said, "Oh, did you know Sunday at the church we all went to when I was a kid?" They're like, "Did you know it was Grandparents' Day?" It's like, well, of course I didn't know that. I mean, you are 3 hours away. No, I didn't know that. And they're like, well, we just wish, been nice for you to have been there. I'm like, well,
Oh, that was it's national.
Oh yeah,
you were supposed to take off.
Oh yeah, I was So and that was on a Sunday, which are real busy days around our house. So, but it's funny that all the days they've got.
That is.
So, but how's your week going?
Man, bro, I'm living great, bro. Everything's been good. We've started our flag football practices last week. Like we're really into it. We've got our first game tomorrow. Like. I'm excited, man. So that's been fun. My daughter's been traveling, doing volleyball and cheerleading and basketball, like just all the things. And so it's just been fun, man. We just been kind of on the move and just enjoying life. Selling, bro. I'm back at the lot.
Back at the dealership.
Having a good time.
You got everybody's keys now.
I got keys, bro. So I've been really just connecting with a lot of people that I've done business with in the past, like, and that's been really, really fun, man. Just rekindling those, like, not sales, just talking
relationships.
To people, bro. Relationships.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah,
those relationships.
That's all it is.
So,
well, as you know, we got like a little farm at the house.
Yeah,
we got some animals. It's super soothing. You know, if you're stressed out, get you some chickens. Don't get roosters, or you won't be.
You're not gonna go the other way.
Yeah, it's gonna go the other way. But get you some chickens. So I've been going out and getting the eggs, and Cope has become like an everyday thing. He's like, we gotta go check them eggs. So they just started laying, right? So they're not all like we've got 10 hens, 3 roosters, 9 hens. So they don't all lay one every single day. It's not like I go out there every day and boom, there's 9. But I'm getting like between 3 and 8 a day. Yeah. So Cope's like getting excited about it. He's like, hey, I want to go out there with you. And then now Colin's getting involved. And so they're starting to, so I'm going to start doing some videos of us like going out there. And because used to, like, Colin's scared to death of any of the chickens. Like if they come at her, but she'll go out there and like wrestle with the dogs. Like, but it's the chickens. She's like, She's like, they're too quick. They're small. They get to pecking at you. But talking about eggs, so a buddy of mine, they just had a baby. She's probably 3 months old, 3 months old. And he said, I got a question for you. And I was like, heck yeah, man. Dad's Corner, like, it's going to be good. Like, I'm excited. Let's go. What is it? Can I talk about it on the podcast? He's like, absolutely. So I'm like, all right. He said, how do you feed your family? I said, what? He said, how do you cook for your family? I was like, what do you mean? He goes, eggs. He said, how do you cook eggs? And I was like, he's like, do you mean like in a skillet or like scrambled? And he was like, no. He said, how do you know how many to make? He was like, people come over to the house now for breakfast because you have kids, like people you hang out in the mornings now. Yeah. He was like, people come over, and he said, I don't know how many eggs to cook for people. And I was like, well, one trick is fried eggs. It's easy because you ask everybody, how many do you want? But he was like, right. But he said, what if you're doing scrambled eggs? He said, how do you know how many eggs to cook for how many people are there? Because when they're scrambled, because when they're fried, it's easy. If you said you wanted 2, here's 2. You want 1, here's 1. But when they're scrambled, you don't know how many you're getting.
So, okay, so my mind immediately goes, like, I definitely thought about the scrambled eggs. But, like, I take eggs and I put them into a bowl. I, like, crack them, put them into a bowl. I whisk them if I'm going to do some, like, scrambled eggs. And so, really, it's, like, about the pour. Like, you got to figure out how much you got to pour out, because at that point, it's like...
See, I'm thinking pancakes when you do that.
I hear you. But this is how I make my real fluffy... This is how I make my
I feel like we hit a little nerve here. I feel like you got...
Bro, I go in on eggs.
Do you think you make, like, really good eggs?
I do. But here's the thing, is I make really good omelets.
Okay.
And so that also makes me think about the omelets. Like, so... What happens is my son or my daughter, either one, they usually like, Dad, make omelets. Omelets, okay. So I'll go in, get me some eggs. How many eggs, you ask?
How many?
So, okay, it's 4 of us. I'm getting probably 9 eggs, maybe 10 eggs.
Okay.
In my mind, that's enough eggs. We get eggs by the 18, so... get a dozen and a half.
So that's 2 breakfasts with your...
2 breakfasts.
Okay.
So I get 9 eggs. I break them up. I'm thinking, okay, Dex is going to get 2. Tylen's going to get 3. Or Tylen's going to get 2. I'm going to get 3. Tiffany's going to get 2. Is that 9?
Mm-mm.
How many is that?
That was 2, 4... Oh, it was 9. Yeah, you're right.
what happens is I'll start making them. I'll make some. I'll give Dex his. I'll make some. I'll give Ty hers. I'll make Tiffany's. I'll give her hers. Dex come back around. Okay, I want some more eggs. Okay, boom. Want another omelet. So
now you got one. You got.
But even before that, I've accidentally over poured.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've got like a little bit of an omelet, and so I might as well just go ahead and I made 3 omelets out of the 9.
And so now you have no omelet. You
I have
get
to go
eat
back
cereal.
in. I get to go back in, and I make my omelet, and I'm probably gonna like overcompensate on my omelet at this point.
Yeah. Well, and this is what got me though, is because he asked me, he said, "How many eggs do you eat?" And I think I caught him off guard because
How many eggs do you eat?
I eat 6 eggs in the morning.
So that's what's.
So, but you know how I eat them? It's kind of, I don't know if I even want to say this publicly, but I'm going to do it.
Raw?
No, gosh, no. I'm not
you
an
just
animal.
cracking rocking?
Yeah, I don't even crack. I didn't chew. I just chew the egg.
I've seen that,
Dude,
bro. That's
absolutely
crazy
not.
to me.
That's psycho.
Are you
That person needs to be
okay?
that needs to be tested for serial killer. No, I what I do is I cook all 6 of them fried. I put them on my plate. And they need to not be touching. Like, they can be together, but they can't be connected. Because, if you cook a bunch at once, they're, like, connected.
Yeah.
So I have to, like, cut them apart. I eat the white all the way around on all of them. And then I take, and one at a time, eat the whole yellow at once.
So what's the consistency of your yellow?
Oh, runny.
You like
Warm,
your yellow?
warm runny.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because here's the thing.
Sometimes I like them like
But here's
that
the
only
thing,
if I've got like hash brown.
If you're going to fry it all the way through to where it's not runny, why don't you just make scrambled eggs?
So if I'm gonna eat them like that, fried with the runny,
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably gonna have like hash browns.
Let's dive deeper into this. You want to know why I eat the egg yolk whole?
Why?
Because I don't like it being all over the plate. And if I'm not eating anything to sop it up with, like bread or something,
Yeah.
like if it's just eggs, I don't like getting done and having yolk everywhere. Yolk. That's a crazy word.
Yolk.
So I just eat the whole thing at once. That way it isn't making a mess. I feel like that's maybe OCD a little bit or something.
That's something else. Like my wife wouldn't. She eats one food at a time on a plate.
I'm not gonna lie, I do that as well. I will, like at Thanksgiving.
Why?
At Thanksgiving,
What is that about?
You don't do that?
I like all of my stuff together. Like
See,
I
my
like
dad
to
would
see
take-
what kind of combinations I can
Oh,
make.
see, my dad would take like Thanksgiving. There was no. You didn't need a plate with a divider. It was like goulash. Like it was just everything mixed together.
I
You know
can
what I
dig
mean?
that.
Yeah. For me, Like he would take like a scoop of like macaroni and cheese with the corn and the mashed potatoes and one bite, and I'm like, ew.
Yeah, what kind of combination can you make?
So my combination is ham, then macaroni and cheese, then the mashed potatoes, then the roll.
So this is what we need to do. We need to have a dad's corner cooking. Is what I'm finding out now.
Dude, we should do it.
Dad's corner cooking.
All right, we're gonna do an episode where we both live stream us cooking breakfast.
I like it. I like
I like it a lot. Yeah, show you how to make some damn eggs. So
That's fun, man.
today,
yeah.
man, today. So
Talk to me.
today we're gonna talk about what works. What have you done as a father that you're like, I'm gonna hang my hat on it. It works. I would give this advice because a lot of times people will ask for advice, but I don't want to give them advice because I don't want it to seem like I've got it all figured out. Because there's things that I definitely don't. But I do feel like there's some things that I have cornered the market on. Like I know there's other people thinking it, but it's like I've done this and or Casey and I have done it and it works. And like if somebody asks me or somebody says it, I'm like, this is what we do. So
I like it. I like
so
it.
I've got one right off the rip.
Talk
and I
to
think
me,
this
bro.
is
Talk
I think
to
this
me.
is
Tell me
very
what's up.
important for especially everybody who's got new kids, who's got babies, who's got toddlers. Routine.
Oh.
Now, here's the thing. When I say routine, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, oh, we can't come over to y'all's house because little Johnny's got to take a nap. I'm not talking about routine like that. I'm talking about routine as in they realize that like at the end of the day, and this is when they're a toddler, whatever, that you've eaten dinner, now it's bath time. After bath time, it's going to be bedtime, and you keep that routine. Now, I know the times will change. I mean, you want to try to get, like, if you're putting your kids down to 7, try to get as close to 7 as you can. I'm not saying go 7, then go midnight, then. But so many kids that I see that struggle with, like, either, like, never going to sleep or they don't go to sleep till their parents go to sleep. That's just because it's been built up over time that like I'm gonna stay up till they go down.
Yeah.
Whereas like our kids know, and our friends have said stuff to us about it before. When even if there's a group of us, I mean, we have 10 or 15 people staying at the house. When we say, all right, y'all's bedtime, y'all got 15 more minutes. All right, they don't fight, they don't get mad. They both know, okay, 15 minutes, we're going up. But that stems from like when they were younger, knowing that when we said it was bedtime. Like so many people's kids, they'll be like, oh yeah, our kids will fall asleep in the living room watching TV. Our kids have never fallen asleep in the living room. Ever. Like our kids have never fallen asleep watching TV because I think if they're falling asleep doing that like consistently, it's like first off they're developing that they need that play-in to go to sleep, but then second of all they're staying up so late that they're like I can't keep I'm done right here.
Yeah, it's a different feel, bro. I love that. I really do. So what I found along with that is like really we started seeing it with my son. So Tylen has always had a really good bedtime, but whenever Dex gets out of routine, because that's the first thing you said, routine. When he gets out of routine, we notice it, and so we just have to, get him back
they're
into
humans.
it. And so they're
little humans.
Absolutely.
Just like if you get off your routine, you get anal, you get a little bit more angry.
They operate so well within a routine. It's important, and I wish we would have enforced it a little bit more, but like earlier, because we do now. Like they have bedtimes, they go to bed, and they're good, especially during school. Like really, that's when it is.
Yeah,
it's like during school time. In the summer, they have a little bit more freedom, but we do have a cutoff. But like during the school year, like they have to because it's important, so important for that routine, and then the morning routine as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's why we liked it too, because there were so many times where. You have friends or you have people that that have toddlers, and it's like, well, they're just not good sleepers. And sometimes you have kids that struggle sleeping. It's not like, but when people are like, oh, y'all just got blessed with good sleepers, it's like maybe one time we did, maybe the first kid. But when you have two kids who are on a consistent routine from like 5 weeks, 10 weeks on, I think it has to do something with what we're doing as well. And I think that with Cope, Colin was a lot easier to like, it's bedtime, go lay her down. She didn't cry. She didn't. A little bit, but then it was more like, okay, I'm ready to go to bed. Like, this is my bed. Y'all go ahead and get out. Cope was more of the, I need to drink water. I need this. Like, I'm standing up in my crib. I'm crying. I'm going to keep crying. You come in here, I'm going to cry some more. Like, it was more, we had to work with him of like, it's bedtime. Like, if you choose to cry, that's okay. It's your room, your bed, but like, we're not coming back in here. If you need something, we can see you on the monitor. I mean, granted, he's only 2, but we're having like a conversation of like, if you're upset, if you want to cry or you want to play with your toys in your bed, you can do that. But we're not coming back in here. So, and once he realized like, well, might as well go to bed. So, but we've also never pushed like nap time. Like we know when our kids need a nap. Cope he doesn't really do naps anymore. But Colin, she's still not really and Cope was already at her age doing this. He didn't really need a nap. But like her, we still, no matter if we're at a friend's house, we're at our house, around like 1 or 2, 12, 1 or 2, we see her start to struggle and like crying more, being whiny. It's like, all right, let's go take a nap. And even when she fights it the most is when she needs it the most. Yeah. So the times where she's like, no, I don't want to go take a nap, and we like, all right, let's just go lay down for a little bit, and she's out before we get out of the room.
That's funny because I think that's true with everything, and I've seen that too. Like when they fight it the most, like guys, bedtime. So I'm like, dude, you are so tired. It's ridiculous. You're so tired.
You can see it in their face.
Yeah. So let me add one. So you just said something that is something that I feel like we do really, really well. And sometimes it's a battle to make sure that we're able to do it because it's almost human nature to not do this, but. Effective communication, man. Like we talk things out, we figure out what's up, and we make sure that you're understanding why something is the way that it is. Whether it's something that is a discipline, it's disciplined, like you're being disciplined for something, or just something that you generally want to know about. So we make asking questions normal, even if they're in trouble. Like. Not like don't ask me no smart like one of those one questions like I can't even think of it because don't ask me something like that but ask me like whenever we're in our talking stage well, I don't understand why I got in trouble for doing this.
Yeah.
Let's really help you understand it. Or talking effective communication about things that I see that could actually help them. Doing something, doing a certain chore, doing something, a workout, like just understanding. And we try to really effectively communicate in the house. And so sometimes there's some backlash, like they don't want to talk. Like if we find out something happened whenever they weren't home or something at school, or they are having trouble in a class or something. Like we've had a situation where my daughter just will not, like she doesn't want to talk. She just wouldn't talk. And she knows that we talk it through. And so we may keep, whatever the punishment is, like until we have the conversation, then that's where we're at. And once we have the conversation, we'll make a decision on how we need to move forward.
Yeah.
And you'll help with that decision. Like, what do you think? I mean, it's not like a suggestion, but what would you do in that situation?
Yeah.
So effective communication, like really talking to your kids and not just telling them this just because.
Well, and that's what I realized that I did more as a parent than I ever probably thought I was going to do, was talk to a 4, 3, and 2-year-old like a grown-up.
Yeah.
Like there was times, because there's sometimes where you talk to them and it's like, okay, that you can tell by their face like it's going over their head. They have no idea what you're talking about. But when you, like especially with Cope, like there's times when I talk to him, it's like I'm talking to a grown-up, because I want you to understand. And if you've got questions about why you're in trouble, by all means ask, because I don't want you to do it again and act like you didn't have a clue why you got in trouble. But also realize that like when you go to talk to me about something, like you're gonna look me in the eye, you're gonna tell me why you did it, and get no tears. Like when you mess up, like I know you're upset, but crying, I don't want either one, especially Colin. I don't want them to think that crying's going to lessen.
That's right.
Any consequences, or that it's going to make me feel like they had a lot more remorse and be like, oh well, they didn't mean, like they're smart enough, they know what they're doing, and they're gonna make mistakes, and I want them to own up. I want them to realize, one thing I've tried to show them is like, I will apologize to Casey. Like my dad was really good about that. If he messed up, he would fly off the handle or something would happen, and he'd say, hey, he would come to me. He one time apologized to Casey, like where he thought he had spoke rudely to her, even though she didn't think anything about it, didn't think that he had. But it was like, even at 30, I think I was 30 years old, 32 when it happened, and I sit there and remember watching, like, this man just went up to my wife and apologized and communicated with her that, like, hey, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have acted like that. And I've always thought that. So it's like, I want to, like you said with communication, I want them to know that, like, let's talk about what you've done, but then let's also, like, work on why did you do it, and, like, do you know why you're not supposed to do it? Not just that's wrong, don't do it, but, like, because Cope is a big why. Not in just so much where you're like, shut up. But he's like, but he'll look at me and be like, I'm just going to ask you, like, why? Why can I not do that? Like, I know you're telling me, and I don't want you to use the reason because I said so. I want you to tell me, Dad, why can I not do that? And so I've had to step back a couple times on that because I told you to. That's why.
Absolutely.
Because to him, that doesn't make any sense. He's like, just because you said it, like, I'll listen, but I don't get why I'm not supposed to do it. But if I say, you don't run in a parking lot, because there could be a lot of yahoos out here back up out of their parking spot. I almost got hit at the gas station today. I walked in front of my truck and a dude, he was flying through there. And I'm like, Cope wasn't there, but I'm like, that's why. People aren't looking, and so that's why. And so if you say, hey, because I don't want you to get hit by a car, they're a whole lot less likely to do it than you just saying, because I told you not to, because then they're going to get in that situation and go, I wonder why they did. Like,
well, that's where that springs from, is like, sometimes people will do stuff, children will do stuff, just because they don't understand why they're not supposed to do it.
Yeah.
And, like, I can do it.
Yeah, like I physically can do this.
I can do it.
Yeah.
Why don't you want me to do it? Like, that's the better question. Yeah. Like, it's not like, well, I'm going to do it anyway because I can do it.
Yeah.
And so.
We talked about this one last week some, but I want to talk about it again. Actually, 2 weeks ago on the discipline episode. So, one thing that has worked that I've been amazed, and I heard somebody say it before I had kids, and I don't remember who it was. It was I saw like a social media thing about it, but it was, when you get onto your kids, when you have even the communication like you're talking about, either get on their level or bring them up to you. And so, I won't harp on it too much because we have talked about it, but I have noticed that, like, when I'm standing across the yard and I'm telling Cope to do something, he hears it, and or Colin, and she'll look at me and she'll do it. But if I like go over there and get their attention and get down and say it, the whole situation goes much smoother. Because at first, if you're yelling, there's a good chance if other people hear, you're embarrassing them, so they're shutting down. Whereas, like, even though you're talking to them and they're upset and they know people can see, it also feels like it's one-on-one.
Yeah.
To where they're not like, okay, he's trying to embarrass me. So I've noticed that they respond so much better when I get on their level, or like in the example I gave when I picked Cope up and put him on the tailgate, like, bring him to your level. That way, psychologically, they feel like it's more of a conversation than like a beat down.
That's right.
So
that's right. No, that's so good. There's so many like little things psyche-wise that, you know, you don't realize that you're doing sometimes. Even loud talking or whatever the case may be. You know, it's important to have that type of communication. That's a form of communication, you know, like being able to communicate with them at their level, I think is super powerful, man. I utilize it for sports. I think I said there, I utilize it for sports. Whenever I'm really trying to talk to a team. Yesterday we had practice and these kids, bro, I got 10 kids on this team. 9 of them were at practice yesterday. We got a game tomorrow, first game. And oh my gosh, it was like they were not listening. So I'm down there, I'm trying to talk to them. They're running around, throwing the football. I'm like, guys, I'm blowing the whistle. I got them over there. I was like, okay, everybody get in the push-up position. Don't do a push-up. I talked to them for about 10 minutes with them in the lean and rest position. I like it. Bro, y'all can't run, can't jump, can't grab, nothing like this. Yeah. Just listen to me. Yep. I'm with you.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's you got to find that way to communicate, and I think that you're right. Like getting on their level is important. Okay. So I said this the other day too. What was I saying? Curiosity. Like that's one thing that we like really really love to do. Like we ask. We do all kinds of stuff, bro. It's kind of crazy. Like. Our dinners sometimes turn into math quizzes.
Okay. Turn
into spelling bees. They turn into basically what I've learned, and I bet you don't know. Like, you know, like we ask a lot of questions.
Let's flex that knowledge.
We ask a lot of questions and try to stump each other up, so that way we can all group learn. But like we ask a lot of questions, and I think that that's important because we can really only understand so much as well as the questions that we ask.
Yeah.
To seek to understand. And so we do a lot of that. And then in the mornings, we always have something educational whenever the kids start getting up. There's something educational either playing on the radio, or there's something educational like we'll do like Brain Quest or number blocks or something like that on the TV. And everybody's moving, but it's just kind of a slow wake up, but it's a learning wake up. So those things, and my children are brilliant, bro. Like, and I don't know. Like, I just feel like that curiosity to test things, to question things, and that, you know, that kind of background intelligence, like that just something that's just going. Even if it's like soft music or something, like seriously, like we just try to start our mornings with some type of cognitive thinking and learning type stuff. And
so, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Cope likes that. Cope, he loves getting the math books and he doesn't, I mean, he's 4. He doesn't understand like which one's plus, minus, and all that, but if I say 4 plus 4, he can get it. Or 4 minus 4, and he uses his hands. I mean, we're not... Tried doing like 100 minus 80, and he couldn't figure it out, which I was really upset about. But he loves things like that, and I like to see him like intrigued by things like that because I know like he has this real strong hunger for knowledge. Like he wants to know how to do something, and when he's playing with something, he wants to know how it works. He doesn't care that it just like works. He's like, I want to know. Like, how does this work? Like, how when I'm using this dump truck to move rocks and stuff like that across the yard, and he dumps it, he's like, oh, that's tight. He's like, so I didn't have to carry them all the way. I could have just put them in here, rolled it over here, and it's and like seeing him do things like that, is really awesome. And Colin, like with her baby dolls, and like how she, like if you want to know how you're taking care of your kids, watch your daughter play with her kids.
Yeah.
And so, like just the patting on the back, like she covers her babies up, she pats them on the back, and it's like Casey used to do that with her, like pat her on the back till she would, when she first laid down, and it was like she now anytime she plays with baby dolls, she's got them covered up and she's patting their back. And so it's like, man, you got to be careful, because there was one time she was like, I said go to sleep. And it was like, hey. And me and Casey looked at each other, and I was like, neither one of us screamed that. Like, I've never screamed at her. We don't scream that. Well, I guess at school there was like some kids who don't go to sleep. And the teachers were like, because in school you got to take a nap. Either you got to lay there for an hour and a half or 2 hours, or you got to take a nap. And I guess they were screaming, but she's patting them babies' backs, and she said, I said go to sleep. And me and Casey looked back at each other, and I thought, Casey, are you yelling at her while you're in there? She's like, I don't do that. I'm like, just saying, Cope said I was in the woods saying the F word, and you took his word for it. So
that's hilarious, bro. But, hey, that stuff can backfire on you too. Like here's, bro, because we on that question, everything, we're asking all these questions at the table and stuff. Well, there was like some older kids that live on the block with us too, and Dix starts asking them questions, like math questions, because he's really good at math. He starts asking them, like, you don't even know what 4 times 10,000 is. Like, you don't even know what this, and like the kids are like, they're a few years older than Dix, and I mean he's asking them some questions, and they're kind of like, acting like he's annoying. I'm like, Dex, come over here. I had to tell him, like, bro, we do that, but you don't go around just
that's not how you conversate with people.
You don't just conversate and challenge people like that. Like,
hey, what's up? I'm Dex. 4 times 80.
We're gonna see if we're even gonna be.
If you don't know it, I'm not talking to you. So the last one I've got is, I think it's honestly the most important one. So co-sleeping. We never did it. Co-sleeping.
Co-sleeping.
So like letting your kids sleep in your bed. Yeah. Both of our kids know the only time they get to sleep in the bed with us is if they're sick, and that's more for us.
Yeah.
Because like we have the monitors and stuff, but you never, if they're in there coughing or hacking, or if they get sick, or because I remember one time, like we've talked about, you hear a random noise that you know is not right in the house, and it wakes you up, even though it's like minor. Like a kid getting sick is almost like a dog throwing up. Like you're like, oh, that ain't right. Like you immediately jump up. So if our kids are really sick or they're not feeling well and they're like up coughing, we'd rather have them in bed with us. I mean, we're not going to sleep if we hear them coughing on the monitor anyways. But other than that, our kids are not allowed in our bed.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons. But one, a lot of relationships suffer when you have young kids, because once you get them in the bed, they stay in that bed for quite a while. And I mean, that can kill sex life. That can kill like just the emotional connection you get with your kid or with your spouse after the kids go to bed. I mean, that's sometimes when Casey and I do our most, how was your day? Like because every time we try to talk when the kids are awake, it's mom, dad, mom, dad, mom, dad.
Yeah.
It's like, I was like, y'all sat in there and played for 15 minutes. I said one word to your mom, and all of a sudden now y'all both want her. Like, what are you doing? So, but never, if you never start it, then your kids also, and I'm not saying that you got to be the parent that just locks them in their room and they're not allowed to come out, but we would, if Cope would come to our room, we would take him back. Colin's gotten in a big girl bed. There's been nights where she's come out and it's been like, hey, sweetie, if it's 6:30 in the morning and we're about to wake up, yeah, get in. But if it's 3 o'clock, I'm like, what's going on? And Cope's most of the time is, I had to go to the bathroom. It's like, all right, well, I'll walk you back down there. But you can't let it in, because you give them an inch, they'll take a mile with that, because they want to sleep in there with you. But I've just seen too many relationships to where they stayed in there for so long, and then it's almost hard to break it for everybody.
That's right.
Like for the parents and the kid. And so it's like you got to get to the point to where if you don't allow it to happen, they know it's not normal, and they also realize that like this is mom and dad's. Because I mean, Cope has asked us, why do y'all get to sleep together? Because we're married. And he's like, well, I want to be married. I'm like, you got some time.
Yeah.
Like you got some time, but like that's why. And I've told him before, I'm like, I don't want y'all sleeping in here. We don't sleep good because kids flail, kick.
Oh, man.
You may get drop kicked in the middle of the night. I've gotten elbowed in the jaw one time.
Man, I have gotten messed up. Like,
and I woke up like seeing red. Like who just hit who hit me? But it's like nobody sleeps well. So it's like, you know what? You're gonna stay out of here. I'm gonna sleep beside your mom. This is my wife. I'm her husband. Like this is our bed. We're gonna sleep together. Like dogs don't even get to sleep up there.
Yeah.
So if you just don't ever start it.
No, I like it. I like it. We've been doing really good with that with my baby boy. Tylen didn't stay in. Like she would come in whenever she was little. She would sleep upstairs, and she'd come down and she'd like I said it, mommy, daddy, like. Mm-hmm. And at some point, it's like, girl, just get up here, like, and
yeah,
gosh. Roll over and know that I'm about to get kicked all night.
Know that you're about to sleep on this side of the bed right here while they have this much, and it's like I'm the biggest one in this bed. I got the least amount of room. I got a half a butt cheek hanging off the side of the bed
getting punched on
because this 13-pound child is in this bed with me.
But no, it's funny because you said that, and I know Tiffany's probably gonna watch this. Last couple of nights, I woke up and my baby boy is in the bed, and I'm like, What are you doing?
Yeah, so we don't want to be co-sleeping, Tiffany, is what we're saying.
Like, good Lord. He's cute, though. I like him.
And that's, it's just too easy to start it.
I know it.
Because they don't make a lot. They're not going to make, but when they get bigger and they start to move around, now you got to spend that time to break them of it, and that's hard for everybody. So
yeah. Okay, I got something. And it is being respectful. So it's just something that, like, we respect everybody. Respect people. We're not rude to people. We're not going to be mean to people, even if we don't necessarily like somebody. For whatever reason, we're not going to, like, bad talk them. We're not going to, like, disrespect them. And we're not going to be the reason. So, like, we really try to build that up and just trying to raise good, respectful human beings.
Yeah.
You know, like, more than anything else. And I know that this works because it's how I was raised. Like, I was raised as a good, respectful human being. And I raised my children as good, respectful human beings. You respect and you at least respect your elders, for sure. You, yes, ma'am, no, sir, whatever the case may be. And
how many times a day you think you say, sir, ma'am, yes, sir?
Right now?
Well, like, probably from like that 3 to 6 range, 7 range, trying to get them to say yes, ma'am. And they just be like, yes. I'm like, yes? And they're like, yes, ma'am. I'm like, yeah, just say it.
I mean, if there's something that's going on and it's like I'm not even in it. It's mom and son. Mom and daughter. I'm not even in it. I'm over here. And I hear just yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been able to pick up a sound better than I could be a mile away and be like, ma'am.
Yes.
Or like whenever it's like, she's like, Colin. Colin goes, what? I'm like, what was that? And then you hear, ma'am. But it was funny because when she first started learning it, she couldn't put them together. So she didn't know which one we were asking for. And I'd be like, what? And she'd go, please, thank, sir, ma'am, thank you. She would go through like all of them, and I'm like, it's ma'am, or yeah. The one I hated the most, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, mm-mm.
So that's what I'm talking about. Like, just being a respectful person. It's definitely at school. Definitely, you know, and as an athlete, like, you respect your coach, be somebody who's listening whenever the coach is speaking, and be the example. So that's those little things like that. But you're the example of being somebody who has respect for people.
Yeah.
So
I like it, man.
Yeah.
Good stuff, dude.
Yeah, man. I think it's good stuff, man. I guess it works.
I mean, our kids are perfect.
I guess it
so,
works.
I mean, you know.
I say that.
I mean, here we are.
I love my children, man.
Oh man, me too.
They're phenomenal kids, and yeah, we need to kick it some more, man.
You got the dad joke this week?
Yeah. So my dad joke this week is from my son.
Heck yes.
And is it
a math problem?
It is.
Are you? Gosh. All right.
It is a math problem.
Okay, I'm ready.
It is a math problem. You got fingers ready? Okay. Why is 6 scared of 7?
I know the answer.
I know you know
I
the
love
answer.
this joke.
Because 7, 8, 9.
Dex coming in
He came in
hard.
6 is
I
scary.
mean,
7, 8, 9.
Dude.
He asked me that about 7 times one day.
And you got to every time be like, I don't know why.
When he had just obviously learned it. And it's the best joke that he's ever heard. He like cracks up when he says it. But yeah.
Good stuff, Dex.
It's good stuff.
Hey.
It's good stuff.
Hey, man. Let's go.
Shut the dang door.